we don't know the walk of life everybody's going through, right? And there's traumas and there's things that people deal with on a daily basis that they feel, they're going to be stuck, right? But there's always tomorrow for a reason. You're able to make a pivot and a shift regardless of what you're going through. Just think of the things that make you grateful and work on your mindset, and you'll get there.
Hello, hello. Ginny Bolling here with the Pivotal REI podcast. We used to be called Pivot to Prosperity, but we just rebranded. Now it's Pivotal REI, meaning Pivotal Real Estate Investments. And today we have Sherica Segre. Okay. And you are local to me. You're here in Central Florida. We both are crew members, and that's Commercial Real Estate Women, which is a great organization. I really, really have enjoyed being a member there. But as we got to speak a little beforehand too, we hadn't really had that ability to connect until today. And I am so appreciative of the fact that you're taking time today, New Year's Eve, to meet with me and do this recording. You have a remarkable story and background, and you are in commercial real estate. And I would like to go ahead and let you talk about your journey to where you are today.
Oh my. Well, thank you, Jenny. I actually appreciate you doing the podcast with me today on the last day of 2025. So, kudos to you and I, being here. But yeah, my journey in real estate and to be in commercial real estate today has been a wonderful journey, but a journey of many steps, right? I started in, I'll say 2018 doing residential real estate. And for me, I just wanted something a little bit more. And so I made a decision to do my master's at UCF, and I had to wait because I missed the deadline. And I was just so sad about missing the deadline, but I was like, God, whatever you have planned for me, I'll wait because I'm a big believer in Him. And in time, 2022 rolled around, and I was able to get into the program and was able to finish it out. Graduated in 2024 with my MSRE degree and made a few decisions to pivot out of commercial real estate. I'm sorry, residential real estate into commercial. And now I've found a beautiful group to be with, which is First Capital Property Group. I love them all there. I'm alongside Jeray Matheny. He's a wonderful soul. He was able to help me make that pivot from finishing out my degree and finding a home to do commercial real estate, where we now focus on landlord representation and tenant representation in retail and office spaces. So that's a little snippet about me there.
All right. Well, so with the retail and office in Orlando, can you give us some input about where things stand right now? It's been kind of a distressed market, as you probably realize, in many areas of commercial real estate since the interest rates have been pretty high for
Yeah.
pretty long
Um,
now.
It's a little bit distressed, but for some reason, we are seeing something beautiful where we're seeing a lot of entrepreneurship with individuals who aren't looking for the bigger spaces, but more so spaces about 2,500 square feet or smaller. So your mom and pops who are coming in who want to start that entrepreneurship journey. A lot of times when I talk to them, they're very positive on, hey, this is a dream that I've had, this is a goal that I had, and I want to be able to make that shift from, hey, it being in my mind and create something new. And that's typically where Jeray and myself will come in, where we're out there, looking for the space that's going to fit the growth that they need to get them to where they want to be when they set up.
Wow, they're wanting to start something new and
Wanting to
start it
start
with a
something
brand new
new.
lease as well.
Yes, yes. Even though the market is distressed, there's beauty in it with people
Oh
wanting to
yeah.
start something new. Yes.
Great, great. Well, and to give people an idea of the types of retail that you're talking about when you say downtown Orlando, can you give a little more detail?
Sure. So we're dealing with individuals looking to start restaurants. We're also dealing with people wanting smoothie shops, bookstores. So we have a variety of different type of retails that people are wanting to do, and not just in downtown Orlando. We have individuals who want to be on the outskirts as well. So just a blend. It's a good mixed use of people in retail
So would
space.
you say it's really greater Central Florida, whether it's to Kissimmee and
Yes.
to DeLand?
Yes, and I think that's where our team really comes in and is able to showcase some of what we are able to provide, the value in that we're able to bring the data to them, right? And allow them to see what's on in the markets, whether it's in downtown Orlando, whether it's in Kissimmee or Winter Park. The beauty of what we do is that we're able to source that information for you to help you make better decisions. So, an individual who might come and they want to get a 2,000 square feet space might realize that while they might not be able to accomplish that in downtown Orlando, they could easily be able to do it in another space, right? And so that's what Jerry and I do very well. We add that value to people when they reach out to us.
Right. And going back for a second, because you mentioned data driven, and I know from our talk before recording that you are data driven. I identify with that greatly. Um, what what were I lost my train of thought actually.
That's
The
fine.
data that you're giving, is it primarily from your own listings and like the MLS of commercial CoStar, I would say, or do you all have other sources you're using too?
So one thing that I love about where our data comes from is that in our office we have over 20 brokers, I would say, right? And we are all working in different submarkets, right? So right there, right off the bat, we have people in-house who are able to provide us data, right? Because we communicate every Tuesday, like clockwork, 9:30, we're in the office and we're all talking about what's going on in real estate and what's going on with us. But aside from that as well, we have CoStar and we have other resources as well where we're able to not just draw the data on what we have only, we're able to pull the data from comps that other brokers might have, and that as an individual or a business owner, you don't have access to, but we do. So that's where a lot of it's accuracy. When we
Right.
bring our data to you, it's not just from the top of our mind. It's literally us researching and getting that data to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that having 20 brokers and a big firm, that's huge.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we all like each other. So that's beautiful too.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay. And so then as far as your typical day, what does that look like?
My typical day. Well, I'm a mom, right?
Yes.
So typically I'm getting those kids up and ready and out the door. But part of what I typically like to do as well is I like to get my mindset right, right? So part of a new thing that I've started to do is while I'm making my initial first tea in the morning, I have something meditative that I'm thinking about, right? So it's all about for me getting the mindset right. From there, I'm driving my way into the office. Once I'm in the office, Jerry and I will sit and we'll say to ourselves, what is it that we're trying to accomplish today? Typically, the day before, we'll have that done as well. And then we'll try to execute. And, after getting that done, making sure our clients are okay, giving them the phone calls, something that you and I talked about is, a lot of people like the fact that I pick up the phone. A lot of people like the fact that I'm not just going to tell you yes simply because you want to hear a yes, but I'm going to give you the data and allow you to be able to digest it the best that you can. And I'm there to kind of assist you with that. So that's kind of my typical day.
Well, and talking in advance, I told you I felt like I had several things that really resonate when I um talk to you and I'll just hit on those. I mean, because I take notes a lot.
Okay.
But but you have through your life adapted a lot. You also realize when a door is opening and you aren't afraid to go through a
Yeah.
door and you are very open-minded, it would seem, and data-driven. And so between those two and then being able to talk so effectively, I think you deliver very
Thank you.
well with the way you communicate concepts that I bet you do really, really well with that. The takeaway there's a takeaway we always want people to have when they
Mhm.
listen to these. What would you say you would want the listener to take away from our podcast?
From our conversation, I'll share a little snippet of my life a little bit. In 2015, I lost my partner, my husband at then. I've remarried now. However, when that occurred, life just seemed like it took a whirlwind, right? I wasn't sure what was up and what was down, right? However, in having people around me, my support system, and having tools around me, tools to be able to utilize to get out of the grief, I was able to find a way to say, okay, this is what life is here now, but it doesn't have to be that to tomorrow, right? And why I share about that debt is that was a very pivotal moment for me in my life. And I think also for my kids and even my family around me, right? Which is what got me here today in commercial real estate, right? When he passed away for me, I had to evaluate my life and say, what is it that you are going to want tomorrow to look like? And for me, a big part of that goes back to the mindset is that I want tomorrow to be where I'm grateful for what I have. And I also want to be able to see the beauty in life, right? And part of that beauty was moving forward, right? Not just staying in that space where you feel like, oh my God, this is going to be my life forever, right? There's things that happen in our lives that are unexpected on any given day. But the beauty about it is how can you move through life being able to handle what's been given to you, right? So that's a big takeaway that I want people to know that at the end of the day, life's going to deal you a hand that may be beautiful or may be, not the best when it comes to your perception of it. But the beauty about it is move forward in the best light that you can, knowing that you don't have to stay where you are today. There's always greater tomorrow, right? So that would be the takeaway that I want people to have in life. Pivot as
That's
many
great.
times as you need to pivot, right? Pivot as, do what it is, whatever it is that you need to do.
Well, I commend you on using the word pivot so much because you get 25 points on our scale.
How many points I got? 25.
Like you said it 7 times
Oh man. But
from when we first started.
I think it's a beautiful word though,
I
right?
do too.
Because it's one of
Yep.
those things that allows you to realize you don't have to stay in the same spot,
Hmm.
you know?
But you can keep one foot there.
Keep one foot there, but be intentional. I think a lot of times, and it's almost like commercial real estate. Be intentional about what it is that you're trying to do. Curate your space to be so that you will want to feel like you want to be there, right? Add value to what it is that you do on a daily basis, But so I think pivoting is a great thing to do.
Right, right. Let's get a couple more. Anyway, and I remember now why I was going back to the data driven. Your MSRE. Tell people what that stands for and what that means you've accomplished.
Sure. So what it stands for me is a life-changing thing. But the MSRE itself just simply means Masters in Real Estate, and to me it was a great accomplishment in my life. And I would say anybody who's thinking about doing it, go ahead and take a leap of faith in doing that. It allows you to, one, have the resources, right? Two, make better decisions, especially when it comes on to investments, whether it's your personal investment or investments for your clients. I think it gives you a good base in understanding the data, understanding the verbiage, but then understanding also all the steps that's necessary for you to take to make that investment work without just blindly doing something. So for the MSRE, I think it's a good program to be in.
Great. Yeah, and definitely introduces you to so many resources. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about if a client calls you, can you walk through the journey, what they would experience with you?
Okay, sure. So I have a system, or Dre and I have a system in our office where the main thing that we want to know is what's your motivation? What is it that you as a person is trying to accomplish? And we will then assess how we can assist you. right? So typically when I'm talking to a person, I'll want to know, what type of location do you want to be in? Is this your first facility? Is this your first lease? And, your budget, that's something that we talk about a lot, and your finances. And how much do you know about commercial real estate, right? And what can we help you with? Typically, when I'm on the phone with an individual, and it's many calls, it's not just one phone call, right? It's me walking them through each step, piece by piece. And every deal is very different, right? One deal is going to take you a week, another might take you I've been doing this now with Durant and First Capital. I've been there for 8 months, right? And I'm still working on a deal that started at day one, right? So typically, it's a lot of explaining verbiage, right? And having people access to the data and breaking it down for them and having them understand it.
Right.
And building
Yeah.
a friendship, I would say too. A great thing is building a friendship, right? Not just the sale. It's not just about the sale because for me, it's very important to know that, you have access to me, not just today for this one deal, but you have access to me all the time.
Right, right. And that's what happens when we talk to people more than once, for sure.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get a relationship, and yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, most people do. I guess some people are very transaction oriented, but I know we're more
yeah.
engaging, both of us. But
I think so.
and so you said, I think that you do a lot of landlord representation too, right? So that was the person looking for space, or is that the person that's looking to lease?
So landlord, it would typically mean the person that has the asset. The person
Yep.
that has the asset and either wants to grow in it, who's wanting to acquire a new piece of asset, or probably downsizing the asset. So the person that typically is in charge, the owner.
That's your main client typically? You have more of
Main
that?
client typically. And then
I
from
see.
there, because when you are working with a landlord, you'll typically get individuals that call you who want to know about the space. And Jerry and I have a system where we'll assess how we can help these individuals as well. And then that would typically move into tenant repping.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, they naturally tie together very well.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay. Well, so when I get towards the end of every podcast, I always ask people if there's a pivotal person or event that brought them to where they are today or is pushing you towards some certain goal. And so I ask you, is there somebody
Of
or
course
something?
there is. So I've been saying his name for a while, right? And the reason I'm on his team, I don't think it's just by the drop of a dime, right? This is something that we actually, I would say, took about 2 years for that decision to be made, where, talking with Jure, I think he's a wealth of knowledge. So I'll say his name, Jure Matheny. He's that
Okay.
person, right? And
Yes.
I just feel like he's a person that adds value in all ways, not just, commercial real estate only, because he knows all about downtown Orlando and surrounding areas. But I also think he knows how to allow people to be who they are, meet you where you're at, and assist you in growing in spaces that you need to grow in. And working alongside him, I feel like the environment has just been beautiful, right? Pressure is there as well, to get things done, but to do it in a way that allows you to grow. And I think he's very creative in being able to do that. I don't think I would have made the decision as easily to be in commercial real estate if I didn't meet someone like him. So even though I initially mentioned before, like the net wasn't there to make the jump, I think it was actually him. Yeah.
Gotcha. Right, right. Well, that's terrific. So you can either tell him you nominated him, or I can call and tell him that you did. And as I was explaining, if he comes on the show, then we promote him as being a pivotal person, and then he'll get a lapel pin that says he's a pivotal
Yeah.
person, even. So, yeah, we'll
We
make
should
this
tag team and get him both ways. I'm going to tell him, and you'll also
okay.
give him a call. We'll tag team him.
All right, all right, very good. Well. Well, so I'd like you to give your takeaway, repeat what the takeaway is for people, for the listeners, and then give your contact information. And remember, some people are just on iTunes or Spotify. So even though I'll have show notes, spell things out. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, my takeaway is, and I think it goes very well with your show, but I'm going to also say the word again, which is pivoting, right? Is that where you are today doesn't define where you'll be tomorrow. And I think a lot of people need to be able to hear that because we don't know the walk of life everybody's going through, right? And there's traumas and there's things that people deal with on a daily basis that they feel, they're going to be stuck, right? But there's always tomorrow for a reason. You're able to make a pivot and a shift regardless of what you're going through. Just think of the things that make you grateful and work on your mindset, and you'll get there. So, my takeaway is pivot as many times as you need to in life, but just know that if you're going through something right now, it doesn't have to be the same tomorrow, and you could make it beautiful. And if you want to reach me, right? My name is Sherica Segre. My phone number, I'll give my phone number, 917-605-1289. If you have any commercial real estate needs, right? Whether you're a landlord, whether you're a tenant, an investor, anyone that's looking for someone who can be resourceful, if you're looking for a team that's going to be adding value to what it is that you're trying to do for your own purposes, I believe that I'm able to provide that to you. Even if you just have a simple question, part of what my clients value about what I do very well is that it's not just about the sales. It's about the long run, right? And the long run is typically knowing the information and knowing where to seek it, and I can be that resource. And my email
Terrific.
is ssegre@fcpg.com.
Very good. All right. And we will put that in the show notes. Good. Well, very good. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. And is there any last thing you want to add?
Well, the last thing I want to add is I hope you have a beautiful day. I appreciate you so much for having me on here. And, I wish you plenty.
Thank you so much. And same to you. I really enjoyed this. I think that you and I were meant to do this today.
Yeah, yeah. And I look forward to maybe pickleballing with you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you much.